Are you exhausted from hearing conflicting advice about healing and relationships? On one side, you have experts saying you need years of healing before you are ready for love. And on the other side, coaches claiming you don't need healing at all, just follow my 3-step formula. Both can be right, and yet, what if they're both only partially correct? If you are a successful woman who excels in your career but find yourself repeating the same relationship patterns, attracting men who initially pursue you, then mysteriously pull away, or finding yourself anxiously overanalyzing every text, I want you to know something. That tension you feel between needing to heal first and then just needing the right strategy, it's not just in your head. And the fact that you're caught in this confusion is not your fault. Of course, you will feel apprehensive about diving into dating strategies when you know that you keep repeating the same patterns that don't work for you. I also understand how unappealing it can be to imagine that you need years to heal to be in a good relationship. What's the right answer? I will reveal it soon enough. You've probably seen a lot of people who had multiple heartbreaks who arrive at a stable, happy place in a relationship after decades. I hate to say this, I'm one of them. But guess what? You don't need to have to wait years or even decades. I've studied this topic extensively and created a program that can help you arrive there with good strategy while addressing self-sabotaging patterns. Today, I'm going to share something about healing and relationships that most experts aren't telling you, a perspective that completely transformed how my client approached dating. And I'll explain why understanding this missing piece could be the difference between another disappointing relationship and finding the secure, consistent love you truly deserve. But first, let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You meet someone promising, the connection feels amazing, and then around date 5, something shifts, he starts pulling back, and you find yourself in that painful space of uncertainty. Let's understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Here's the pattern I've identified after working with hundreds of successful women. The healing versus strategy debate creates a false dichotomy that keeps so many brilliant women stuck. Let me explain what I mean. When coaches tell you you don't need healing, you just need my strategy, they're partially right. You don't need years of therapy before you are ready for love. You don't need to be perfectly healed to be worthy of connection. But when therapists say work on yourself first, they're also partially right because certain patterns in how you relate to others can sabotage even the most promising connections. So what's the truth? The truth is that healing isn't something you complete before dating. It's something that continues and deepens through relationships. This is a lifetime process, frankly, like peeling an onion. You will always find something new to discover. Exciting, huh? But here's something that nobody talks about when it comes to relationships. I hear a lot of people talk about attachment in relationships, but a lot of them get stuck on nitty-gritty details and explanations of different styles. So many women find themselves in that same place, overfunctioning, overthinking, figuring it all out in their heads. That's not how you become securely attached and form emotional connections. I also want to share something most people don't understand about attachment science. Secure attachment, the ability to form healthy, stable relationships, doesn't develop in isolation. It develops through connection. This is why I encourage women to start dating while we are addressing whatever blocks self-sabotaging patterns or insecurities come up. But your old traditional dating strategies or lack of them will not help you. They are based on the advice of generations of emotionally insecure people, unaware that this advice stems from the agenda to control our sexuality or use women as bartering pawns between families. The usual dating advice these days just makes people feel insecure, not good enough, and like there aren't enough good partners out there. It makes everyone feel like they have to compete with each other and prove their worth. And that's just not right. In the Secure Love Creator community, we help you address these old emotional blocks and narratives that come from your family of origin or even generational patterns while tweaking your dating, courting, and communication strategies so you can feel empowered instead of confused and build secure attachment. So, just following a certain method of finding love may not be helpful in the long run, especially if you tend to self sabotage or attract wrong partners. Think about it this way. Would you try to become a confident driver solely by reading the driver's manual without ever getting behind the wheel? Of course not. You need both the knowledge and experience. The manual teaches you the rules of the road, but only driving teaches you how it feels to navigate traffic, how to respond when someone cuts you off, how to handle that moment of panic when you need to make a split-second decision. Relationship healing works the same way. You can understand your patterns intellectually, but true transformation happens when you apply that understanding in real relationships. Leah, one of my amazing clients, came to me frustrated after years of therapy. I understand all my patterns, she said. I can tell you exactly why I get anxious when someone doesn't text back. But knowing why hasn't changed how I feel or act when it happens. 6 weeks into our work together, she texted me excited. I just had a completely different response when he didn't reply for a day. Instead of spiraling, I felt this new sense of calm. I handled it completely differently, and he actually apologized and explained without me even asking. That's the power of healing while dating. Leah didn't need more understanding. She needed guided practice applying that understanding in real relationship experiences. Does that resonate with you at all? Can you feel the truth of this in your own experience? Let's challenge the conventional definition of healing for a moment. Most people think of healing as reaching some mythical finish line where you resolved all your issues. But that's not how human development works. Healing isn't a destination, it's an ongoing journey of expanding your capacity for connection. And here is what most experts miss: the deepest healing happens within relationships, not before them. When you feel that instinctive caution around a potential partner, that's not a sign you need to heal more before dating. That's your intuition giving you valuable information. The question is, can you hear that wisdom beneath the noise of old patterns that usually stem from fear? This is something we help women with. When you learn how to become aware of your intuition, process your feelings, and then communicate what you need in that moment, magical things happen. Men respond to this so well. They are naturally drawn to this part of you. What many high-achieving women experience is not a lack of healing. It's this connection between their intellectual understanding and their emotional responses. They know their patterns in theory, but struggle to access that knowledge in the moment it matters most. Does this sound familiar? You're on a date, things are going well, and then he says something that triggers an old wound. Logically, you know your reaction is more about your past than the present moment. But in that crucial second, can you access that understanding? This is the gap we bridge in the Secure Love Creator community. Not by keeping you out of relationships until you are healed enough, but by giving you the tools and support to navigate real dating experiences with new awareness and responses. I'm so excited to share this approach because I've seen how dramatically it accelerates transformation. When you combine psychological understanding with real-world application, something magical happens. You don't just know better intellectually, you feel different emotionally. Ayla is a university professor with a brilliant mind. She has spent years analyzing her childhood and relationship patterns. She told me I could write a dissertation on my attachment style, but I still feel anxious every time I really like someone. Through our work together, Isla started approaching dating differently. Instead of trying to manage her anxiety through control, she learned to recognize it as information and communicate from a place of clarity rather than fear. 3 months later, she shared, "For the first time, I didn't feel like I needed to hide my desire for commitment. I simply stated what I was looking for, and instead of running away like I feared, he expressed how refreshing my clarity was. I never knew being authentic could actually attract the right person closer instead of pushing them away." But this raises an important question. If healing happens in relationships, how do you avoid repeating the same painful patterns while you are in this process? That's where most people get stuck. Every day you operate from outdated relationship patterns is another day delayed in experiencing the love you truly deserve. But here is the good news. You don't have to choose between healing and finding love. You just need the right approach to do both simultaneously. The Secure Love Creator method provides exactly what successful women need: a clear understanding of your unique attachment patterns and how they show up specifically in your dating life. Real-time guidance for navigating dating situations as they arise, not theoretical advice for some future relationship. A supportive community of like-minded women who share your values of love, emotional connection, and integrity. Practical communication tools that help you express your needs without coming from fear. Strategic dating approaches that help you identify compatible partners earlier in the process. Imagine what it would feel like to go on a date without the exhausting mental gymnastics. To know exactly how to express your needs without fear of appearing too needy. To recognize when your anxiety is signaling a real incompatibility versus an old wound being triggered. Imagine the freedom of being fully yourself, your successful, brilliant, emotional, desiring self, and attracting men who are genuinely captivated by all of who you are. This isn't just possible, it's exactly what our members experience within months of joining our community. Remember that question about avoiding repeated patterns while healing? Here's the secret. You need both inner work and strategic guidance. The Secure Love Creator community provides a unique blend of therapeutic healing and practical dating strategy. Unlike traditional therapy, we don't keep you processing the past indefinitely. Unlike tactical dating coaches, we don't ignore the emotional patterns that sabotage your connections. Instead, we help you identify exactly which patterns are blocking your path to love, give you tools to transform them, and provide strategic guidance for attracting and recognizing compatible partners. Consider Nikki. She joined us after her divorce, worried that at 45 she might have missed her chance for love. She told me, "I don't have time for years of healing. I want to enjoy life with someone new." Within weeks, she noticed something shifting. "I'm communicating differently, not hiding my desires to seem cool, but expressing what I really want." And surprisingly, men aren't running away, they're stepping up. 6 months later, she shared the ultimate transformation. "I never realized that by being authentically myself, the good, the messy, the vulnerable parts, I would attract someone who adores all of me. I wasted so many years pretending to be what I thought men wanted, when all along the right man was looking for exactly who I already am." Are you nodding right now? Can you feel how this approach might be exactly what you've been missing? As we close, I want you to hear this truth. You don't need to be perfectly healed to be worthy of love, and you don't need to navigate the complex world of dating without support for your specific emotional patterns. The ache you feel when relationships don't work out, it's not a sign you're broken or unlovable. It's your heart signaling that you're ready for something different, a new approach. What honors both your desire for love and your need for emotional safety. If you're tired of confusing middle ground between endless healing and superficial dating tactics, I invite you to join me for a free masterclass, Meet and Keep the One. You'll discover the 3 specific patterns that cause high-achieving women to attract inconsistent men, how to recognize when you are operating from old wounds versus healthy discernment, the exact communication techniques that help you express needs without triggering withdrawal, why healing while dating accelerates your transformation, and how to do it safely. Click the link below to reserve your spot now. Remember, every relationship challenge you face isn't just a painful experience, it's also your greatest opportunity for transformation. But you don't have to figure it out all alone. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and share it with another brilliant woman who deserves to know she doesn't have to choose between healing and finding love. I see you in the masterclass.